the day. We cannot take contributions to every single story when we open the phone lines, which is why we sometimes restrict the conversation to about 2 or 3 stories in some extreme cases. But we made a provision to cover up for that. On Thursdays, we have Open Mic Thursday. So we're going back these conversations and talk about them. So even if you're not able to speak on the subject matter right this very moment, you can reach us through our Facebook or YouTube platform at Mainland 98.3 FM. I'll give you the phone numbers after we get through the stories for Mainland Focus today. Don't forget that when you call, you are to tell me your name, where you're calling from, and please maximize the time that has been allotted, which is 1 minute, to share your opinion. Now, if you'd like to speak on both stories, as we'll be looking at 2 stories today, I would ask that you manage your time or use your time judiciously. Keep the salutations as brief as possible. Let's get into the subject matter of discourse for today. 2 stories. We're talking about the importation conundrum that we found ourselves in Nigeria, as well as the provisions for budget poverty alleviation in the 2026 budget. Now, let's start with the percent supply in 2025. The Punch is telling us that despite all the progress we've made when it comes to domestic refining, of course, there is primarily the Dangote refinery, but there are modular refineries, there are state-owned refineries as well. We have been able to show that we can take care of our domestic needs if only we focus at least a little bit more on our domestic refining, or at least we make an effort to improve for moribund refineries as it stands. Now, there are a lot of questions on liters of PMS that was consumed in the country. Importation, refiners take care of bill attention to local refining. Mind you, the government had made an effort. They've put a 15% tariff on importation. But even with this tariff, as you know, tariffs are a tool to help to manage some financial situation, to encourage local production amongst other things. But even with this 15% tariff, which was I think in 2025, the month now eludes me, but it was last year, importation still continues to grow. Are these people even paying the tariff at all? Because it was supposed to discourage them, but local refining in the country. What surveys do you use? How exactly do you even determine the consumption in the first place? Why do we have conflicting figures, right? So how do you even go about the consumption figures that you're using, the justification by the NMDPRA, and also the posture of the government, including the NMDPRA, when it comes to encouraging local refining, and also this resistance from importers, right, that we will continue to import whether or not you wage a price war against us. That's one story on the side. Now, the second story, % of that budget has been set aside to fight poverty, the federal 2026 budget, and that amount represents far below 1%, way below 1%. And so this again called an analog computer. The scale of preference when it comes to, with recent statistics, for example, that would probably slide into post to counter the manifestation. Just 141 people don't 58 trillion naira budget, only below 1%, some 0.3 something percent, is targeted at schemes that have to do with poverty alleviation. Then are we really serious about items, supply of transport? And there's a very small portion, but still, who continue to slip into poverty. So these are the 2 stories on the table. Let's get the phone line again, 091. To use WhatsApp, you can call WhatsApp and send a message again, 0913-6000-4 for feedback, as I told you earlier. Hello.
Sage, good morning. My name is Robert, and I am calling you from Apapa.
Welcome.
Local people, nonsense. People don't want this country it's because of the change rate. That is why they damage. So I don't know if any Nigeria still believe. No, they give. So people still believe in this government. Hello, good morning. Tell us about this concerning our Dangote came into the oil industry matter. And then after that, they now try to work probably against Dangote and his life. The bigger task is me, the government people who are making money unnecessarily out of the ordinary man. Then Naira, out of the 58 point prayer, the next thing is to protect. And I pray that this will not lead to revolution. That there's a time you continue to cheat the people. When you cheat them, they will avoid protesting. From protesting to go to revolution.
Well, that's hope, and it's not 0.3 billion, right? But in terms of MDAs have poverty alleviation allocations or budgetary allocations. I want to give clarification so that you're able to put together your thoughts properly, right? Thank you. Hello, here you are.
Yeah, it is Tղᴇ.
Welcome.
See, it's just cluelessness. I'm telling you. You know, people focus on the president. Who government chairman of my community? I will build the park. I will even pass my new government as New Nigeria. But we're talking about people, careful, and they are not helping the situation of the people. And in a way to speak for themselves. You know, not sharing food, sharing my own. I can make money. You know, it's just fearlessness everywhere. Fearlessness.
410. Hello.
Hello. Good morning, Lady.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm well, thank you.
This is the Barrister Peter Oko. I'm on this issue of whole issue of importation of petroleum products. So, if we want to, the president, Mr. Bola's conflict of interest, Mr. Trumbo owns, his family owns.
All right. Thank you very much. Something that I cannot understand. Even the money will still be looted by those in charge of it. What are we benefiting from this New York report? You treated it with kids' glove. You should know that now failed and it's really insulting. Okay, petroleum. Please, can you go to her back? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
John from Moga.
Yes.
Yeah. Let the government come up with something. We have, yeah, these are, and then our naira was stronger than the pound sterling. That's just the truth. Let them come up with something reasonable. Let them, they are horribly corrupt. That is the way I see what the gluttonic attitude of this people. Honestly, I hope all this, they are now you are coming.
This is a very interesting perspective. Capital project, if we can focus more on encouraging local production or a palliative or so-called poverty alleviation schemes and funds into the economy such that people would not even need for you to give them make this a good thing. Yeah. Let me hear you. Called before, don't call again. All right, please, if you've called before, don't call again. If you mean a platform. Thank you very much. Hello.
It's very good morning to you in the center of Unified. But the also don't make it to work in Nigeria and billion. You never know little women selling pure water on the street. So all this you take them money to start a small business. Because
if the business environment is unfavorable, your capital would perish.
That is a big question you threw to me. And what begot all these problems we are facing is corruption directly. Corruption begot all the problems we are facing today. Those in charge, give somebody something in your home, in my home, in every place you work,
Welcome.
This country, government would not just policies. People not being able to, only the policies that is needed to fund palliative. It will end at naught because in that money.
You're actually glad that 0.3 fat.
But since the fat remain, we just keep going.
Not interpret the reaction that I'm getting. Cash transfer across different MDAs, right? About 206 debt for that, so that we can focus most of our resources into executing capital projects and into making it comfortable enough for people to make their own money, so they don't have to depend on these grains. To clarify the position that you're taking, it would help us very much to understand your perspective on this.
Yeah, my name is Moses from the last time.
Do you mind speaking up?
0.something budget for poverty alleviation. The money is small, number one. Number two.
They had spoken a few years ago about having a social register.
It's a fluke. What happened to that of federal products? Where? Gas. Went to buy the number one bicycle. Whose car is thought to be this one?
Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. This is Balaji from Joko. Okay, enough. Look, it started like this with Museveni, Uganda. Gradually, there is a difference between democracy and politics in Nigeria. Means selfish interest. Please, I want people to just think towards it. It's as if we are believing that democracy. Because in Africa, it's like democracy is being.
On WhatsApp, good morning, Sage and Fuad. On money set aside to tackle poverty alleviation, all I can say is nothing will come out of it. On importation, I would simply say those involved are only making to have sent that one. We have focus for. I don't know why that's happening.
You said this is
What fundamental human right? I'm not the government. I didn't. You're taking it too far. Okay, you're taking it way too far. I won't deny you an opportunity. I wouldn't allow you to talk for just 1 minute. You speak over 2 minutes. You don't necessarily we've corrected you against, and then you're calling back and talking about. Let's be considerate. Word.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. He's with us.
Nigerian politics. I don't think that it's total off. When we talk about Nigeria is not a democracy. I can't understand this democracy. When you are doing something that's about other people, I don't think that we are practicing democracy here. It's not.
Thank you very much. Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much. I hope that you call again. Hello.
What's going on? No, Madam, I've never had where government will say they want to give us something individually. So, palliative like that. It is during the Buhari's time that we have something called palliative with their plates. They'll be putting 200, 100. That's what they do. So, they brought that concept into his government, which is not done. The work of the government is to bring up policies that can make Nigeria to bring our food stuff from the farm, like to do hairdressing, that we will put in 20,000 in my account. 20,000 is not enough for me to put a pot of soup another month or another 3 months. It is totally abandoned, so that we will tell them how to run this.
So much for calling. We appreciate you. For those of you just joining, we are talking about two issues. First of all, we are referring to the continued pattern we've been able to refine. Although the NMDPRA says that of the 18 billion that would to show that local refining has not gotten to a level where we can rely on it. Rather questionable, and if anything, they're probably being the operative word here, conjuring it, as we don't really have what other source can we refer to. If the NNDPRA says is 18 billion, that's consumption, well, that's what we have to believe, because there's no, we go about domestic refining. How do we start to restructure? How do we start to obey the provisions of the PIA? So in fact, the PIA does say that as long as you have domestic refining capacity, as long as you can take care of your domestic needs by data, to cannot necessarily obey the PIA. All this from the second story is the Punch reports that this is not just one project tagged poverty alleviation under the 2026 budget. No, we have myriads of ministries. It is the cumulative sum that is about 206 billion of the fifth that have come with their own ministry, department and agency poverty alleviation initiatives, right? And so sum total about 206 billion. Maize, some want to give monies to SMEs, that's a thing, that we're not spending this much, comfortable enough to make their own money. 9136000410. WhatsApp is your... Hello. What's your name, sir?
I'm calling from UK.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to bring the public ethics of public education. As warning, you have right, your teacher has right for the integrity. When nobody personalizes it, the teacher right, and not because to the import of export of petroleum product our Nigerian politicians, every citizen is entitled to.
If you don't mind calling back, it's very, 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 very hard.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Sage. Yes, Governor from Malaba.
Well,
Thank you. It's all about scam. It's a total. We are going to the presidential election again. They know the loyalists, the people they want to actually bamboo into their circles against 137. NNPCS, they will never be transparent. Local refining, they will never.
All right, we have Benjamin E. that Dangote reduced his pump price. That is why they keep importing petrol, even when Dangote has told them what that is going on between Dangote and the petroleum marketers. Is it how he will continue to be silent and allow the Nigerian masses to suffer in the hands of the marketers? Is the new CEO of NNPCL telling Nigerians that our full refinery, the former GCEO of NNPCL who collected money to fix the refinery that never worked till date, why has he not been invited by the EFCC? So I said, Benjamin from Shoguness, and I want from the government is 24-hour power supply to help my business. We have Falomo Bolanle who says, what palliative? How many people even mainland FM crew? How do we really clarify what the government is doing? Is it poverty alleviation or poverty elevation? Okay. We have good morning. I read this on money for the program judiciously. It should be scrapped while the government should revert to the fuel subsidy. Noah from Igodo. We have here. Good morning to the good people of mainland FM radio, oil importers, Dangote and all the smaller players in the field. While the president, who doubles as the Minister of Petroleum, is busy traveling around the world, intelligent with this government's many acts of carelessness and irresponsibility. We don't have any reason to be importing fuel in the country, if not government irresponsibility and their fail. President Tinubu got everything wrong with the pronouncement that subsidy was gone when he has not even sat in his office to a refinery. As a president and Minister of Petroleum, does it mean that the country has no refineries that can compete with Dangote? Because one thing I know for sure is that Nigerians will pay through their nose sooner or later. My apologies, I had the dry throat, and Tim Tokwanosoi decided to edit his message mid-read and absolutely confuse me. Anyways, you go and say, if Dangote dominates the market, I'm talking, and the only way out is weaponize poverty, even Ijagamo community. Minutes, there are hundreds of people that are on queue to call. With due respect, hope you know that when you exercise your right, endeavor to continue taking phone calls. Hello.
Sure, they are talking about giving them 10,000 or 20,000 is. Why do you think that giving people to 20 people so poor? With us, we're not working. I went to the village. We are so happy that they gave him. Has that man, has somebody left that man? Where is it? They're just finishing Nigerian money and telling us poverty and elevation. They don't spoil subsidy. Poor will not be poor again. But they will never hear that one. They will continue.
I just want to first of all say thank you for giving us this opportunity to always this so I don't think the so-called palliative like a pocket. I think that would be.
I'm with you. Go ahead, please.
This station the way it did. It's not his private.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, how are you?
Well, thank you.
What means subsidy? From where we are. Then one abracadabra, the other is become 800, become 50. Money. You don't begin to move up and down, say we want to give money to people. To give people 50,000 now. In 2 days, then the number keep on increasing. Bring down the subsidy and let us continue to enjoy our life the way you met us in 2023. Please. That is what I have for Mr. President. And I want to say, sir, you are welcome.
Good morning. The government of Nigeria for action, examine her projecting support was a good development and it's appreciated. And the parity after they train you, they now buy pensions for you. If you get the news for your train poverty, I really want to they should budget more.
Is it possible that you get a new phone for contributions on radio station so we don't lose your amazing commentary on phone? Thank you so much for calling. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, nice to have you.
What brought the hardship in the if we can't identify the subsidy removal and the flotation of, can we think out with the policy a bit and look for a way to maybe pass wrong the given? That is why that is what is needed. Let's take out the president doubles as the Minister of Petroleum on petrol, and that he didn't even look at our side.
Thank you very much for calling.
This is Jay. I'm calling from First Talk.
Welcome.
You have a very look. How can you say palliative is a thing? The policies are not working. People are hungry and someone is saying palliative are working.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, thank you. Good morning.
Yes, my name is Ambrose with ⴛ Campaign. Because Nigerians can work, people. Nigeria, so many other places. And do you know what? Politicians work. But when they have any little project, they go abroad. They their children go abroad to study.
Thank you.
They import vehicles.
And have a great day. Hello. Yes.
That is highly nonsensical. It's meant for the boys, like people in the whole world that if you can't deliver, you need money to buy food. You need
the focus of the day. We're not saying that they're amassing money. The report is actually highlighting how demand for poverty alleviation that they believe that such a small amount of money has been allocated. A conversation around, is this a good thing, right? Is this an indication that they trust so much in their economic reforms to the point that people might not need these poverty alleviation benefits? Or is it in form of palliative, in form of poverty aid, or whatever the terminology is, focusing on the size? So we can read messages. Hello.
From Uganda.
Yes.
Obviously, ICD is working. So you tell him to, like, he's doing so well, should go and get a phone order. It's really funny also because this is not how I want to fix a nation using sort reverting to what is such in Nigeria. So, I mean, if they can take it.
All right, well, that's the last tip for Nigerians. It's an avenue for looting our commonwealth. We want good policies that can went into that ministry, and minister was let go. Madam, it will refocus the mindset of people to other resources instead of just crude. My fear is that poverty would reduce dramatically. How can we have over 40 different rich minerals? Please tell Barrister that your station is a private station, and it's a privilege given to him. Sean, okay. Huge money they make from Nigerians illegally from Agbado. We have the NMDPRA should, where is their own? Any talk about good morning Sage and India. Last time somebody was telling me to go and register with my NIN that every month I'll be makes my day, but you need to remark or anything like to execute that responsibility. That's all I'm saying. Just we have more messages here. Good, that one. This one said Sage get a phone. To do commentary, and I'm not offended, I promise you. Native or palliatives can is from Lagos is the author. WhatsApp. Yeah, thank you. On this platform, Lagos, you chose to actively, you spend almost 3-4 once, if you ask me, because take a break at 10 to that conversation with you. Africa's in talking about stick around.